don't look very happy. What's
I am
wrong?
not happy.
Why are you not happy?
I hate school.
Oh, well, any particular reason?
Sometimes it's too hard. Sometimes it's too Hachi. I love Hachi. I want to be with Hachi. Come here,
I love Hachi too.
Good doggy. Sometimes it's too hard. Sometimes it's too easy. Kids don't like me. I don't like my teacher. Teacher probably doesn't like me. Everything.
That's a lot. You want to take them one at a time?
You whatever you want.
So let's start with what subjects are too hard?
Oh, math. Oh, I hate math. Who cares about what the area under a parabola is?
You have to learn basic math as part of going ahead in school. There are certain courses that you're required to take in high school. And you may use it someday. You may never use it. But you do have to learn it. So it's too hard. What could you do so that it wouldn't be so hard?
Get an easier book.
Well, that's not going to happen in school, but we could get you a book that would be easier that might be able to explain it.
I'll look it up on the internet.
And that would be a good thing to do.
Okay.
I bet ChatGPT will tell you exactly how to solve the problem.
Mom, can I have some pizza?
In a minute. So now we dealt with the hard. Is that the only subject that's too hard?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's too easy?
Everything. Reading. Oh my God, all read the same book. It's so boring. I went to page 33 by the time they're on page 6.
You're reading it in class or outside of class?
And they do it in class. They still make us read aloud to each other. I'm just sitting and the kid is struggling with the words. He barely can read The Cat in the Hat.
Okay, well, I can remember those days. I used to read way ahead, and then when the teacher got to within 2 kids of me, then I would struggle to find the page, so when I got called on, I'd be in the right place. And you can read anything you want at home. You can read books as hard or as easy as you like.
Mommy, how am I going to last 180 school days, 6 hours and 20 minutes of this for 13 years or whatever? I'm already in the 5th grade. I still got a lot more years left. How can I survive?
Well, first of all, in high school, you'll get to choose the courses that you take, and you can take harder courses. They have honors courses or AP courses. So those will be more challenging for you.
High school is like light years away. I'm in the 5th grade. There's the 6th grade. There's the 7th grade. And the 8th grade. And then finally high school.
All true. When you go to middle school, you'll have some choice in your classes. They may have elective classes, and you can always at any point ask the teacher if you can talk to him or her and say, this book I find really too easy for me. Is there something else I can read, or is there something else I can do? Not exactly the same assignment as everybody else.
I want to try to think about what I really should do. I like your advice, but what should I do to survive? I think I can space out and it's okay. I still always know what the hell she's saying. I think I can try to show off that I'm smart, but then the kids will hate me. I could sneak in my desk with a book I really want to read or whatever.
Been done by children from time immemorial.
And maybe I just have to accept it's school. That's what school is. Some of it's going to be useful. Some of it's not going to be useful. But it's probably, if I didn't go to school, what would I do? Hang around? I would get bored with that. So maybe I just need to accept that for thousands of years, that's what school has been, and it's not going to be that different for me. What do you think?
Well, I like the way you're thinking about it. I can't change school for you, but I do think that you should make an appointment to talk to each of your teachers.
Can you do that? I'm too scared.
Well,
I'm way too
I
shy
can make the appointment. And I can even go in with you.
Yeah,
but I think we need to have a conversation with the teacher about what we can do to adjust the work so it works for you.
I'm scared I'll get a bad grade. What are you going to say to the teacher?
You're not going to get a bad grade. We're going to try and make you get a good grade by giving you work that's more appropriate.
But if you're complaining, then won't you give me a bad grade?
I'm not complaining.
What are you going to say to her?
We're talking about personalizing school, and most teachers want to make sure that lessons are more personal for students. Another thing the teacher can do is when you're doing a particular lesson and you're in the 5th grade, she can ask ChatGPT to give it to you on a 7th grade reading level or an 8th grade reading level with 7th grade standards. So there are lots of ways that we can brainstorm together and make you happier in school and make it a better experience.
Mommy, I will feel more comfortable if you can kind of role play. What would you actually say to Mrs. Johnson?
Hi, Mrs. Johnson. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. So Marty really enjoys your class, but there are some challenges for him. He finds the work a little bit too easy for him, and he'd like to be challenged
But
more.
the math is too hard.
Well, then if we're talking, that you said some things are easy, some things are hard.
Okay.
So, Marty is struggling in your class because he's finding the math too hard. Do you have some ideas for what we could do? Shall I get him a tutor? Is there a tutoring service in the school? Might there be another student who'd be willing to go over homework with him and work with him? Any ideas that you have in addition to what I've suggested?
Okay, I think that won't hurt me. I won't get a bad grade because you say that's okay. But now what do I do about the kids don't like me? They don't bully me. They don't beat me up. They just ignore me. They're polite to me, but they all play with each other, and they never, when they choose up sides for softball, I'm pretty good, and they choose me almost last all the time, or sometimes they don't even choose me at all.
Oh, that hurts.
It hurts.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things you said is I could answer all the questions. I could show off in school, but if I show off in school, kids won't like me.
Right.
So let's think about, have you been showing off in some classes that kids are...
I think so, but it's hard not to.
I know.
I have certain abilities. Like I can play the guitar, and I like to show off for the kids to play the guitar. I like to raise my hand and say, I got it. And the kids don't like that.
No, they don't.
But so I have to put duct tape over my mouth and dumb myself down?
Part of the time, yes. Not all the time. There are 30 kids in a class, and each kid wants to get some recognition. And if you're the only one whose hand is up and immediately answering all the questions, you can understand why they wouldn't like you.
The thing you keep telling me is restraint. This is all about restraint. I'm not so good at restraint.
Okay, let's think how you could be. One of the things that people suggest is before you say anything, count to 10 in your head. That gives you time to not be quite so impulsive in what comes out of your mouth.
I actually like that, or at least 5. I'm too impatient to do 10.
Count to 5.
Yeah.
Count to 3.5. Count to whatever number works, but just take that pause so that you're not impulsively calling out an answer.
I want just one friend. Other than Hachi. Hachi is my best friend.
Hachi's everybody's
my Hachi.
best friend.
Hachi's the best doggy in the whole wide world.
I agree.
I want to get one kid friend. Can you ask me some questions to help me figure out what I'm doing wrong?
Have you ever invited any of the kids to come over and do something fun at the house after school?
It feels like too much of an ask. You know, the kids don't even like me. They don't even come over me to play kickball. So how am I going to invite them to the house?
Well, you might. What do you have here that they would be really interested in seeing? You think they'd like to see your, I don't know, your...
My Nintendo Switch, maybe.
Okay. Or you could say, I just got a new Nintendo and love to have you come over and play it with me. In the afternoon after school, are you available?
I think I'll try it. Okay, let's get out of the role play now.
Okay, good.
What's 1 or 2 things that you want people to remember from our role play?
I think when your child has an issue, you can't poo-poo it. You need to acknowledge how your child is feeling. That's very important as the first step. And then ask more questions. See if you can learn a little bit more about what the problem is, and then make some suggestions and say, is there anything else that you think you might be able to do?
Doing this, as you know, we do this ad lib, but then it kind of bubbles up what the real issues are that don't have pat answers. Because in reality, it is for thousands of years. Kids have had challenges with school. As Barbara said, they will sneak and they will look in their desks, sometimes to read, sometimes to do things that are a little less lofty than reading. So there is no magic answer. So dear parent, when your kid is asking a question, don't feel you have to fix it. Not everything is fixable. I do think it's good where possible, before you just accept it, shrug and accept it, that you ask your child, okay, let's pretend I didn't exist. What would be the one thing you would do to improve your life, whether it be too hard work, too easy to work, not liking kids, not liking the teacher. Very often, not always, but usually it's wise to default to asking the kid to solve his or her own problem. And only then, if that doesn't work, then you can gently offer a suggestion, like Barbara did. Might it work for you to try X? Okay? When we come back...
Before we do that,
good.
One other thing. Teachers have a lot of kids in their class, and they can't always know how each child is feeling about each subject.
True.
Teachers want to do the best job they can, and they work very hard to try and individualize and personalize. And we have new tools now that allow us to do more than I would have imagined when I started teaching way back with the dinosaurs. So feel comfortable about sending a note to the teacher and saying, my child and I would love to meet with you for a few minutes at your convenience to talk about some of the concerns that he's having in school and see if we can work out a few things that I can do at home that might help, or that you might change in class.
You said something interesting here. You said there's a lot of things that teachers today have that they didn't. Can you give an example or two?
Absolutely.
Other than ChatGPT.
Well, but AI is really big because you can get that same lesson in 4 or 5, 8, 12 different reading levels so that each child can be reading about the same topic, but on their own reading level, which is miraculous. You can also make it personal by just saying, give me this lesson for a kid who likes trucks. And they'll do that so that each child is more motivated to do the same lesson because it appeals to something that he or she cares about.
One more thing. You told me about something called Footsteps to Brilliance. You want to talk about that?
Footsteps to Brilliance is a fabulous program, particularly geared for preschool, TK, kindergarten, or kids who are having difficulty in primary grades. It's a series of online books that you can use on a phone, an iPad, a Chromebook, a computer. And the stories are read aloud to the child in either English or Spanish. And as they're being read aloud, each word is highlighted in the color red so that the child begins to make a sound-visual correspondence. And for kids, particularly multilingual kids, it's a wonderful way of teaching them English because a tap of the screen makes a change from English to Spanish. You can change the whole page, or you can change a particular word. And even better, because it is an online thing, the child can make the pictures do something. So in the story, Sally hides, if you tap on Sally, Sally will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here we come. And if you want to hear that again, you tap it again. And if you want to hear the whole story again, you can tap it again, or the clock will go tick, tock, tick, tock. And for preschool kids and TK kids, that's fascinating. And the fact that they have this kind of agency to make different things happen, and they come to know what it is, and they'll read the story again and again. You know how you feel after your child has asked you to read the same story 18 times? I always say that you kind of want to throw the book and the kid out the window. But the computer will read it exactly the same way, no eye rolling, no intonation. So really powerful tool and very helpful for students who are struggling in reading in the primary grades. And by the way, it is free to anyone in Napa County. You go online to register, you put in your Napa address, and it's a free program.
Barbara can't brag, but she did that. She brought that to Napa along with many, many other things. Before we take the break, you mentioned a term that when I was growing up, I didn't know. TK. I know pre-K.
Oh, TK.
What's TK?
TK is for the kids who just missed being the right age for kindergarten. So they have they get to come to the same school. It's a cross between pre-K and kindergarten, but for families, they can be in the same school as their sibling, the school they'll go to elementary school with, where before, parent had to drop one kid at this facility and another kid at that school.
Okay. When we come back, I'm going to torture 2 people. Stay with us. I keep my promises. I told you I was going to torture 2 people. I'm going to torture 2 people. You see, I'm the bad Nemko, and she is the good Nemko. She says all the nice educator things. I was the kid who hated school. Anyway, so let me, without further ado, introduce our grandkids, Leah and Sarah. Let's hear it for them. There's no audience, but okay.
And I promise he won't torture you too much. You are our 2 resident experts in teen angst, and let us know what the real truth is about high school and middle school these days.
Whoever wants to go, go.
What's your favorite thing and what do you hate most? Okay, Leah.
My favorite thing is probably lunch with my friends.
A true academic scholar.
Yeah.
Lunch. What's your favorite thing in school? Is school lunch good or is it beef and bean burritos?
I don't eat school lunch.
Oh.
My favorite thing is probably getting to see my friends every day.
You mean not the Peloponnesian Wars? Not foreign language? Not economic theory?
Close second.
Well, okay. Well, is there any subject you actually like in school?
No.
Oh.
Actually, history sometimes.
Sometimes I like math when it's not too hard.
Good answer.
What should parents know? Most people who are watching this are adults. We have not been teenagers for a long time. What should we know
Don't
about...
remind us.
Yeah, I know.
A very long time.
What should we know about being a teenager? Especially this is a back to school show. So what should we know about being a teenager going back to school that we probably don't know?
Sometimes it can be very overwhelming to be in school because there's a lot of classes and extracurriculars and in a new environment. So sometimes it's nice to have a break and just, it's nice to have adults know that it can be overwhelming.
Well, for me, I think adults need to know that we are not that capable of waking up at 6 every day, especially because a lot of high schoolers have extracurriculars outside of school. So then you get like 5 hours of sleep.
Not
And
good.
it should start at
Leah, if you were to start a school, what would be the hours of the school?
Oh, start at 11.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, what do you call it? Beginning of school should be like an hour grace period because some people sleep in longer than other people. So maybe like 11 to 12.
Like rolling admissions, you just kind
Yeah,
of...
you should just come in when you wake up. And ending at maybe 2:30.
11
And
or
what would you do the
12
rest?
till
So
2
you now
or
got 9 minutes.
2:30.
Gami, there's an ant on your sweater.
Oh, dear.
This is ant season. Give it a break. You can live with the ant. Oh, there's the ant. You want me to kill it or leave it?
Yeah, kill it.
Kill it. Oh, no. This is our TV first. Killing an ant on TV. Okay. You said history is not so bad.
Yeah, I like history.
Okay.
Why?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't like the history about Mesopotamia and stuff like that, but I like American history.
What's the favorite moment in American history for you?
The Cuban Missile Crisis of 1963.
The Missile Crisis. And what if you were President Kennedy in 1963?
What would I have done?
What would you have done?
I don't know. I would not have released my missiles.
I think
Personally, I would have. Sorry.
Okay, you're getting goofy. Pull it together, kids.
Okay.
I think that history can be good or bad depending on your teacher, because if you have a bad teacher like I did in 7th grade, it can be the most boring, hard class ever. But if you like in 8th grade, I had a better teacher, and she actually made it a lot more interesting. So the work was more interesting.
Tell us how. How did that teacher make it more interesting, and why was it so boring the year before?
Great.
So the year before, the only way that we learned was through graphic organizers and just through the worksheets. I don't remember the teacher actually getting up and teaching on the Promethean board. He might have done a few times, just not very much. And then this past year, my teacher really taught, and she made the lessons fun. And
How? What did she do?
she just taught it instead of making us. We had the work, but she also explained it to us.
I got to tell you, if I were the teacher, I would be doing a ton of reenactments of key moments, key scenes in history with costumes.
I can give an example of that.
Okay, 1 second. And then afterwards discuss, debate. There's usually two sides or more than two sides to every story. So we would role play it, we would enact it, have fun, but then we would have conversation. Why would we have done it this way? Why would you have done it that way? What were you going to say?
Well, when we were both in 5th grade, obviously at different times, but we had a teacher that acted out the British overthrow, and I still remember everything she taught us because she got up in costume and taught us like that. But basically my freshman year of high school, I had a teacher that was so terrible in history that it was just really hard and it wasn't as fun because we wouldn't learn about history, we would learn about his grandma, which I don't know. And one time he came to school dressed like a Christmas tree. And then my teacher this year was so much better, and he has been teaching for 30 years, so he's more experienced, and he stayed on track, and he made it interesting every time. So I actually liked it and enjoyed the class.
I also remember the teacher that we had in 5th grade because I remember when she reenacted the Continental Congress because she gave some people scripts, and then it was kind of like she put on a play. And then also, I still remember the preamble through a song that she played us by Schoolhouse Rock.
Really?
So it's just, I remember the most out of that year. I don't remember anything out of 7th grade, but I remember everything out of 5th grade.
Please, teachers who are watching this is reality. If you go and you just hand out worksheets or you make things hard and irrelevant, they will never remember it or you. See what kids remember. You must make it alive, real, and interactive.
Do your teachers use the smart boards to show video clips of things in history, parts of movies? And do you like that or not like that?
Well, that kind of is when it gets boring if they play videos. I think for me, the most fun part when we had history was when last year, my teacher would make it more, he would just explain history and he would make it interesting. So he would say it very exciting and just talk through the events instead of showing videos and giving us graphic organizers.
I agree.
Okay, what's one more thing that you want to tell us about being a teenager going back to school that many parents or teachers don't know? Okay, just wanted to give you a catch-all, and if you don't have to, you can say.
Okay, let me ask you a different question.
Good.
You said it can be overwhelming. So what can your parents do? They're not in the school with you during the day. What can they do at home to help you deal with the overwhelmed feeling that you have?
Well, in my opinion, nothing.
Oh.
Because it's not nothing the parents can do can really manage if I get overstimulated by school, they can't do anything. I just have to figure it out.
Suck it up?
Yeah. Or I just have to do my homework in different time periods so it doesn't all add up. But literally nothing.
Yeah, I don't think there's much they can do, but if they understood, maybe if they try to explain some of the homework to me, but a lot of the time, the stuff that I'm learning is so irrelevant that they don't even know what I'm talking about. Because, so I can't really get much help from them. But if they actually knew the answers, then that could probably be helpful.
I have one very important thing to say. These children go to school not in California and absolutely not in Napa County. They're from a different state. So parents, if any parents are watching this and thinking, oh my God, I better pull my kid out of school. No. I think our schools are better than that.
I have to ask you a question. If parents can't do anything to reduce your stress, what do each of you do to keep your stress under control?
Well, I've gotten pretty good at it because I have a lot of sports after school, which take up a lot of time and a lot of homework. So what I do is in classes, say they give us 10 minutes at the end of class and everyone else goes on their phones, I'll get my homework done for that class. So that way I end up with a lot less homework than I would have had. So I just use the time that they give us to do things I need to catch up on.
I haven't really figured out a method to completely manage my stress yet, but a really good, after I am super overwhelmed, I like to ask questions to my friends because I have some really smart friends that can help me get through it and answer a lot of questions. So I'm grateful that I have people like that at school that can help me.
I'm grateful that the two of you are here and that you are quite honest. And I promise you, I'm saying this, I swear the truth. I believe that the people watching this will have benefited from the two of you. So I want to thank you very much. Barbara, why don't you make a summative comment?
Well, that school can be challenging in many ways, and parents can't always fix all the problems, which is important to know, but I think we can listen and be sympathetic. And sometimes if the child doesn't have friends who are helping to explain the homework, and you are not sure how to explain the homework, you could perhaps do a little bit of research and look up what the homework's about, and then maybe make some comment that will make it make more sense.
I actually have a question to ask you guys.
Okay?
How much of the stuff you learned in school when you were a kid do you still use today?
That's a wonderful and very embarrassing question. Probably beyond basic math, I probably use very little of it. But for people who go into careers like engineering, it's really important that they know that. Should everybody have to take that? I'm not sure.
I want to be more optimistic. There is certainly things I know, like in terms of writing, that I've learned. But I'll never forget, in my 7th grade science class with Mr. Baum, he decided he was going to have one lesson that wasn't about science. And he taught us about marketing and how they try to manipulate us and he talked about the bandwagon technique. They say, join everybody who's smoking these cigarettes or whatever horrible thing, or a testimonial where they'll get some athlete to say, I drink Tang. So being that I use every day, it's given me a healthy skepticism about when people are trying to sell me something, whether it be a product or even a person who's trying to sell me something. I've used it constantly throughout my life.
Also, the ability to think critically about things. There is so much information that comes at us, and I'm not sure that we spend enough time with kids today having them really look at both sides and then look at pros and cons of both sides and then make a decision. I think too often what I hear is a lot of bumper sticker rhetoric, 4 words that you can put on a bumper of your car that mean nothing, and they don't necessarily even know what it means, but they just have heard it.
School has always been challenging. And what has been the balm, B-A-L-M, for millions of students is something creative. For some, it's sports. For some, it's art. For some, it's theater. For some, it's music. For some, it's dance. It is important that every kid have some balm, something that creates meaning, joy, creativity, as just kind of an antidote. It's like we all have to eat our vegetables, but we'd also rather have ice cream. So we have both, in any case.
That's a really good point. I think many kids, particularly in high school, come to school for the elective, whether it's in the performing arts, the creative arts, or in career technical education, but something they have a passion for. That's what gets them up and excited to know at least one period of the day there's something they love.
We have a passion for sharing what we know with you. And I thank you very much for watching this episode of the Nemkos Do. Please join us next time. We'll be doing something else. Who knows what?